Stepping up to the first tee at such an iconic venue, Frank, what is going through your mind here?
Well, you'd think with such a wide fairway, it would be the easiest fairway to hit. But Swilcan, there's an out of bounds down the right, and then the Swilcan Burn runs all the way across from the right-hand side in front of the first green. So really, you want to make sure you have a full shot into this first green.
Frank, really good chance from this position to make a birdie.
Yeah, really the only thing he's looking at right now is the flag. This is a green light special.
Should be pretty good right there, on the safe side. So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
Settles in over the putt. And so just getting started, even par so far. Now to the second hole here at the Open Championship, and Frank, what's the best way to attack?
Ideally, if you're not the longest hitter, just down the right side. But if you've got some wind conditions, wind behind your back, you can nearly drive this green.
Well, he pays a price for that.
Yeah, when you don't see the top of the ball in the rough, you know it's not sitting pretty. You're going to need a bit of force to extract one out of there.
So missed the fairway, and now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems.
Now his third, staring right at the green. Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that.
It doesn't go in, you got to add another one to the scorecard.
And that's where the golf ball's just staring at you, and mocking you and laughing at you.
You know deep down it's smiling, don't you?
Frank, talk about the strategy off the tee here at the third.
You can drive the ball pretty close to this green, Rich. It's shorter than the second hole. Just hit it down the right side, but try and avoid those little pot bunkers.
Well, the tee shot has landed in the bunker. All right, Frank, second shot.
Yeah, it looks like a good lie. Just take maybe half a club more than the distance allows. Still got to check the wind. Don't have to fly the ball all the way to the flag from here.
Frank, you're in the business of analyzing golf shots.
I don't want to see that one again.
So he's in the fairway bunker. Frank, what's the key here on this shot?
Sometimes take a little bit more club, but it still gets down to contact. Any little bit of sand gets between the ball and the club face, you will lose 10, 15, 20 yards.
Well, hit the green, but certainly not close to the hole.
Yeah, probably barely give him a C for that shot.
Always two components to the long lag putt, the speed, number one, and then the read. And missed out on that second part. That one got away. So a tester from 4 feet. That hole certainly got the best of him. Triple bogey. At the fourth hole now, and Frank, this one looks as though it might require a little bit of club selection off the tee. What are we looking at, partner?
Well, there is two ways to play the fourth off the tee. You can hit it down the right side, but it really starts to narrow up, and it's slightly shorter. Most players go towards the middle of the golf course and try and get it on that plateau. But this, certainly, the first hard hole you see at St. Andrews.
On the green in regulation. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
You couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. He has this attempt for par. Rough day so far, 4 over par on the round. Hole number 5 of the first par 5 we've seen today. This fairway looks like it narrows quite a bit, Frank. Are you thinking eagle when you step up onto the tee?
Well, you could, especially if you've got a little bit of breeze behind you, but it's quite wide in the driving area with the exception of those 3 bunkers on the right that just sort of pop out. But if you can get it past those, this par 5, very reachable.
Playing his second shot here at the par 5.
This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough and into the thicker stuff.
Let's see if he can bludgeon this one out.
And Frank, that steady play continues.
Rock solid. Excellent approach shot.
Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
It's a cruel game.
Clean this up with a tap. Just poor execution. And now 5 over par after another bogey. Moving on to the par 4 6th hole here at the birthplace of golf. This hole shares a green actually with the 12. How do you work your way around this hole, Frank?
Some sort of tee shot. 3 bunkers that look like they're in the left center of the fairway and a series of bunkers down the right. So somehow bisect those and then you set yourself up to a green with a false front. Well, that's a little absurd, that, Rich. That shot wasn't that hard, but it's come up well short.
Didn't appear. Oh, my goodness, he just made that. I cannot believe it.
I was thinking he might get it close. And just a great shot.
Continuing from the oldest championship in the game. It's the Open Championship at the old course at St. Andrews. Here at the 7th hole now, Frank.
Yeah, you try and hit your tee shot over a little stone there. It's called the March stone. That's a good line for like left of center. And, well, if you can just work it off that, good tee shot. You're only going to have a pitch in here to a green that's set up very high.
Tough game, Frank. You can hit 300-yard drives and miss 3-foot putts.
Yeah, there's the ecstasy, and that's the agony.
All right, hanging in. That's a par and 4 over. Standing on the tee at the par 3 8th here at the old course. And Frank, what are we looking at here?
One of the biggest greens on the golf course. It looks flat. It looks like it's easy. But once that flag gets on the left side, this one, the hole becomes a little bit more difficult. It's very easy to take this hole for granted. Very hard to hit it close, though.
Not terrible, but not his best.
Yeah, outside chance, really, for birdie. But really, it was a rather poor approach shot.
That's all he wanted to do there.
Yeah, it's touch. And when you think from that distance, chances of making are almost none. So to guarantee a 2-putt, well done.
In for a bogey. And Frank, the Open Championship coming back to the home of golf this summer.
Yeah, and remember, too, the last time it was here, Louis Oosthuizen at the 9th hole, he had no problem driving this par 4. So let's see if you can do the same. If you can carry that last bunker down there, there's every chance that your tee shot can run onto this very flat green.
Crucial eagle attempt on the way. Pretty long putt right here. You'd be happy to get it to within 2-3 feet. Looks like he just misread that. Getting set now over the putt. Can't get them all back at once, but it does go in the right direction. Now at +4. Starting the second 9 here at the Open Championship, Frank, with a par 4 10th.
Well, this is another chance really to drive a par 4, especially if you're a game. But you've got to hit those that tee shot a little left of those 2 bunkers that are just short and right of this green. But course down the left. You've still got to be careful. Don't just flail away. But this hole, what a great name. It's called Bobby Jones.
Lays the face open. He'll try to pop this one out. Playing this par 4, still not on the green after that second shot.
But still not done. A good third shot. Maybe get away here with par.
Outstanding strike right there, right off the center of the club face, and a good chance for birdie. Oh, man.
I just pushed it.
Boy, that hurts. Trying to get out of here with just one dropped shot. This is for bogey. Nudge this one home, finish it up. 6 over par on the round right now. Hole number 11, the Eden, is really the finest medium-length one-shotter in all of golf, isn't it, Frank?
Well, this hole's been copied by many an architect for the reasons why it's normally very, very difficult to make a hole of this length, or should I say this short, so difficult. But they've managed to do that here at Eden with that Strath bunker in the front and the severe sloping on either side of that bunker.
That can really be brutal, can it?
It certainly does. And if you have any doubt there, you'll come unstuck at 11.
Been this way all day. Airtight, no mistakes, solid shot.
And yet another green in regulation.
Frank, the charm of St. Andrews, the history of the old course, it all sort of comes into view here at the 12th, doesn't it?
Yeah, very pretty hole. Eden Estuary to the right. Obviously a nice view of the township of St. Andrews in the distance. But long hitters can just lick their chops and have a crack at this green. All they've got to do is worry about that little pot bunker short. But either into the breeze, or if you're not a long hitter, you've got to worry about those 4 bunkers that are well placed smack bang in the middle of this fairway.
These putts keep the round together. Well, thank you at last. A birdie. That was a long time coming, Frank.
Yeah, finally he strung some shots together. Now, if all of a sudden he can do the same on the next hole, he might just get a run going.
Now to the par 4 13th, and again, Frank, it's all about avoiding the bunkers.
Yeah, another hole that forces you to go either right or left of something that you can see. The 2 bunkers called the coffins right up ahead. You can also go beyond those, and if you do, then you've got a much shorter shot in, but you've got to avoid those fairway bunkers. They are very costly.
You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Well, this one's tracking. Wow, I can't believe he found the cup on that one.
Clean up on aisle 5.
Frank, what's the strategy here at the 14th?
If you can't go for this par 5 and 2, Rich, there is another option where you can go left. And I mean left of left. That's down the 4th fairway. That's across the Elysian Fields, as they call it, which is a set of sort of hummocks that run down the middle. And you can find a flat lie there and come across at about a 45-degree angle for your 3rd shot to 14.
So missed the fairway, and now he's back where he needs to be.
Yeah, minimize the problems.
That is classy.
They had a chance of going in.
Just a couple of feet. You can do it one at a time. So with that, they're at +4. Time to tee it up here at the 15th as we begin the closing stretch here at the Open Championship of the Old Course at St. Andrews.
There's a big steeple in the distance, so even when it starts to fog in a bit, if you can keep your eye on that, that's a good line off the tee. And you've got to keep it, your tee shot, just short of this sort of heather, big crop of heather down the left side. It still leaves you a lengthy 2nd shot, but really that's the safest way to try and play this par 4 15th. Very good par 4.
He's knocked it on the green, but not in a great position. This is a difficult chance coming up here. Long birdie try. Speed wasn't bad on that long putt, but the read wasn't very good.
It's no snack, though.
Just misses. Frank, we see it every single round. These kind of putts determine whether it's a good score or an average score.
Yeah, and just like that, a bogey. He does not feel like he deserves it.
All right, Frank, another par 4. It's the 16th. Players trying to make their way to the house, standing up in one piece. What's the best way to get at this hole?
Well, the normal player would actually try and hit the ball down the left. I've seen the odd player try and hit it down that out of bounds line and sort of flash it down the right side, but really there's not much of an advantage, Rich, unless you're the longest hitter in the business. So a little short and a little left of the principal's nose is a nice setup for the 2nd shot here at 16.
Good-looking shot right here. See if you can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie. Long putt here. This will require a good touch. Well, there's an opportunity wasted.
Just knock it in for a par, and let's forget about this one. Golf is not about perfect, but it's going to hurt the course.
Frank, this is sort of bizarre. You're standing on the tee at the road hole, one of the most famous par 4s in the sport, and you're aiming for a hotel?
Well, you're aiming over a series of letters that say the Old Course Hotel. If you can hit it exactly over that U, then you will be in the right place, which hopefully is down the middle of the fairway. You avoid that heather on the left. That bunker up ahead, the road hole bunker, you remember David Duval? He got stuck in there. Years ago, Tommy Nakajima, he could hardly ever get that ball out, and in the end succumbed, I think, to double figures. So the hole has more than one way to trap you, so stay away from the road on the road hole.
Solid play, heart of the green. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read.
Whoa, that was unexplainable. I thought that was easily going to be a par.
Won't have to focus, try to make bogey. So he has that for bogey. I can't help but think that the double bogey back on the 10th hole has knocked him back on his heels a little bit. He's playing defensive golf right now, and he's struggling.
I tell you, there's long and long, and that with a little bit of breeze behind, it's long.
He rode the wind there to payday. He's going to have a good look coming up. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. Good chance here. Wow, he needed that, Frank, in the worst way.
Interesting to see what's ahead from now, whether that was just a flash in the pan or the start of something good.
Frank, the